first reference I want you to take note of is following. बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम. अगर कोई शख्स कोई ऐसी बात कहे जिसकी शरीयत में कोई सही असल और बुनियाद ना हो, चाहे वो साहिब इल्हाम या मुजतहिद ही क्यों ना हो, दर हकीकत वो शयातीन का खिलौना है. आयना कमालात रूहानी खजाइन वॉल्यूम 5 पेज 21. What it says that if somebody says something and even this person is claiming to be receiving revelation and inspiration from Allah, even this person is and claiming to be a mujtahid, somebody who has reached to the highest level in terms of knowing the Islamic sources, but if still this person says something which has no basis, please pay attention, which has no basis in Islamic sources, in Quran and Sunnah, there is no weight for whatever this person is saying. Mirza Ghulam Qadiani goes this far to say that this person is actually a toy in the hand of shayateen. Now, two advents, the claim of two advents of Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is a belief and Aqeeda, right? Number two, how a belief or Aqeeda is established according to Ahmadiyya religion. Please pay attention. It has to be established with a qat'i ayah of the Quran. Not even hadith, qat'i ayah of the Quran. You can bring hadith in support, but it has to come from the qat'i ayat of the Quran. Now, what is a qat'i ayah? Please pay attention. According to Razi, if somebody challenges us, inshallah, I will produce every evidence. He says that, number one, this ayah has to have only one interpretation, only one tafsir. And how do we know this? If we go into tafasir in Quranic exegetical work, and we can see that people have interpreted this ayah in more than one ways, this ayah will not be qat'i anymore. This ayah will not be definite anymore. This ayah cannot be used in order to establish an aqeedah, a belief. Please, I beg to you, either you are Ahmadi or you are a Muslim, want to understand the polemics, want to understand the apologetics, I want you to please pay attention. These things are very important. Now, let me give one example. The ayah of Surah An-Nisa. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Wa im min ahlil kitabi illa la yu'minanna bih qabla mauti. That there will not be anyone from people of the book except he or she will believe in Isa alayhi salam before his death. Please pay attention. Now, please listen very carefully. Companion, a Sahabi, Abu Huraira radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, with authentic chain, he interpreted this ayah, that this ayah is a proof, is an evidence. And Abu Huraira radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he quoted this ayah and he linked it with the hadith of Sahih al-Bukhari, which says that, I swear by the one in whose hand is my life, Ibn Maryam will descend amongst you. So Abu Huraira is understanding this ayah of the Quran in the light of that hadith in which second coming of Isa ibn Maryam is mentioned, right? Razi and Ahmadiyya Jamaat rejects that. On what basis? They would say, oh, look at Qurtubi. He said that there are multiple qabla mauti he, qabla mauti him. What I'm saying is, they say that there are multiple interpretations, even though Muslims are saying that look what the Sahabi is saying. Are you not happy with that? Are you not content with that? They say no. Why? because they say that this ayah is not qat'i anymore. It's not definite anymore. And it's not just Ahmadiyya Jamaat, by the way. Mirza Ghulam Qadiani has said this, by actually. Their Nabi has said this. So what I'm saying in a nutshell, please pay attention. If any ayah of the Quran can be shown that it has more than one interpretations, according to Ahmadiyya principles, number one, this ayah will cease to be a qat'i ayah. Number two, this ayah will become mutashabih. Come Razi, come any Murabbi, challenge us. This ayah will become mutashabih, obscure, which cannot, according to them, which cannot be used to establish anything now. Now, keeping these principles in mind, I don't want to use the word challenge again and again. Look, I don't feel comfortable with that. But when these Murabbis are displaying their arrogance, then you have to deal with them and you have to put them in their place. But for a common Ahmadi, I would say that I invite entire Ahmadiyya leadership, quote that one qat'i ayah of the Quran. And what is qat'i? Number one, only one interpretation. Number two, it must not have been interpreted in any other way by any mufassir whatsoever. Bring that ayah, just one ayah, on this principle of qat'i, to prove the belief of two advents. Get it? And then you need to understand and remember this principle, that if something has no basis in the Sharia, in Quran and authentic hadith for us, and according to them in Quran, because their principle is they take belief from the Quran, and then they will think of going towards the ahadith. This is their principle, by the way. Now I want to show you the hypocrisy of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani and his Jamaat. Please note down these references. This is the death, spiritual death, or metaphorical death. Spiritual death they already have. It's metaphorical death, by the way. I take my words back. Not spiritual death, because they are already spiritually dead. I'm saying metaphorical death. For the Qadiani Murabbis, when you quote them this reference. Volume number 6, page 89 of Ruhani Khazain, Mirza Ghulam Qadiani's quote-unquote Jang-e Muqaddas, Holy War. You know what it is? It is a documentary by Mirza Ghulam Qadiani on his encounter with Abdullah Atham. And inshallah, this encounter is going to come at one point, but not soon anymore. Why? Because now the narrative, the topic will remain until and unless Ahmadiyya Jamaat either declare this belief as a Kufri belief or they officially defend it with a debate, an official debate. What's the topic? Two advents. Otherwise, it was my plan to bring this topic. There was debate between Abdullah Atham and Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, in which Mirza Ghulam Qadiani lost his close people. His close people were, they left Mirza Ghulam Qadiani. They become murtad, according to their terminology. They became Christians. This is Jang-e Muqaddas, Holy War. Anyhow, our point is, Mirza Ghulam Qadiani is setting the principles of debate with Abdullah Atham. Please pay attention. Mirza says, वाज़े हो इस बहस में ये नहायत ज़रूरी होगा कि जो हमारी तरफ से कोई सवाल हो या अब्दुल्ला आथम की तरफ से कोई जवाब हो, वो अपनी तरफ से ना हो, बल्कि अपनी अपनी इल्हामी किताब के हवाला से हो. पे अटेंशन. जिसको फरीके सानी हुज्जत समझता हो, और ऐसा ही हर एक दलील और हर एक दावा जो पेश किया जाए वो भी इसी इल्तिजाम से हो. गर्ज कोई फरीक अपनी इस किताब के बयान से बाहर ना जाए जिसका बयान वो बतौर हुज्जत समझता है. अल्लाहु अकबर, अल्लाहु अकबर. I want you to please take a note of this reference. Mirza Ghulam Qadiani says that let it be clear that in the course of discussion, neither me nor Abdullah Atham will bring anything outside of the revealed scriptures for both parties, i.e., Abdullah Atham will bring from the Bible and nothing else, and Mirza Ghulam Qadiani will bring from the Quran and nothing else. And in this context, if you put this in the context of Muslim and Qadiani dialogue or debates, it will be from their end. It has to be two things: Mirza Ghulam Qadiani's writings and Quran, or those ahadith which Mirza Ghulam Qadiani declares. Why I'm saying this? Because this is what Mirza Ghulam Qadiani said. Because according to Mirza Ghulam Qadiani, please pay attention, Mirza Ghulam Qadiani says that he believes in his revelation in the same way as he believes in Quran. Clear? Come ask me for the reference. So, and then Mirza Ghulam Qadiani says that either your claim or your argument to support that claim, it must be from the revelation of both parties. Whatever each party believes to be the revelation, it has to come from there. And then he ends by saying, he says, in a nutshell, none of the parties will bring anything, pay attention, none of the parties will bring anything from any of the books which the other party does not consider to be hujjah, a binding source. You may be thinking, what is the relevance of this point? Let me tell you. Shah Waliullah said this, Chishti said this said this. Hello? In Muslim understanding, when it comes to beliefs, Quran, authentic ahadith, and according to some scholars, it has to be hadith mutawatira, a hadith with the mass transmission, hadith mutawatir, or some says mashhur hadith, but mostly mutawatir. If something is not in the Quran in a qat'i sense, in a definite sense, if something is not in the authentic or mutawatir ahadith, and lastly ijma, with the consensus of the ummah, if something is not coming from these three sources, pay attention, if something is not coming from these three sources, it is not binding on any Muslim. Go and ask any Muslim scholar that if any of the belief or Aqeeda is being propagated or taught, but it's not coming from the ayat of the Quran or authentic or mutawatir hadith or ijma of the ummah, is it binding on us? Go and ask. And bring that scholar here live with us if he says otherwise. We want to see him. Okay? So, this is the rule. You have to follow this rule of Mirza Ghulam Qadiani. Because if Mirza Ghulam Qadiani was binding Abdullah Atham through this rule, why don't you want to obey this rule? You have to give us the reason. Okay? Now let's move on.